Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course. Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off by Sampler Platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Have Platter video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. Normally I would have been doing this review from my car, but no, it's just too damn hot out today, so we're doing it in the back room. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm gonna go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm gonna yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am in my back room, which I just mentioned, which means we also get Beer Can Thunderbolt poster. Ooh, Beer Can Thunderbolt poster. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am doing something else. What is it, though? Ugh. I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, though? Happens to be my Essinger shirt, which I really love the design on this. It's very cool. If you're unfamiliar with the musical artist known as Essinger, kind of works in sort of electronica, industrial sort of circles. I ran into his stuff a few years ago when he was on tour with a band called the Cybertronic Spree, who I'm a big fan of, and I really dug his sets. It was one of those things where pretty much as soon as I got out of the show, I went over there and started looking up his stuff online, downloaded a couple of his albums. I think the guy's tremendously talented, and, you know, if you don't believe me, I actually have some videos of the performance that I attended of his. Those videos are on my channel, in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as his music goes, because, again, I just think the guy's incredible. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why is this something normally I would have reviewed in my truck, or car, whatever you want to call it? It's an SUV. Sometimes I call it a truck, sometimes I call it a car. I don't know. SUV is a stupid name. I'm just tossing that out there. But anyway, so yeah, I review plenty of stuff from my truck. Probably the vast majority of things I review from my truck. It's just easier. But time I'm doing this, it is just stupidly hot. And I was originally planning to review it out there, but it was just, there was no way. So I came inside, and now I'm reviewing, boom, from Arby's. This is their white cheddar mac and cheese. Ooh-wee. So I've reviewed mac and cheese from plenty of fast food places, but I don't think I've ever done it from Arby's. It says please stir before eating, so we're gonna stir it up. And yeah, I mean, I like Arby's. I've reviewed plenty of stuff from Arby's over the years, and I'm certain I've had this in the past, but you know, always good to revisit. It's one of those things where they, you know, it's always a limited time run. You know, they bring it out for a little bit and then they take it away again. So, all right. And let's get a thing for the thing. It will kind of sort of do it like this, and we'll just kind of go ha 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 ha. Let's try it out. Oh, very rich. Very rich. Definitely has some sharpness with that cheddar. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's nice. It's obviously very nice and creamy. I mean, for being, you know, fast food mac and cheese, honestly, it works out pretty nicely. Which, to be fair, makes sense. Like, mac and cheese isn't anything fancy, you know? I mean, you can obviously fancy it up if you want, but fundamentally, it's an easy dish to make. So, fast food setting kind of makes sense. Probably why, you know, you have Popeyes that does it. You have KFC that does it. Those are the only two I can think of off the top of my head. But, yeah, it's nice. I like it. I do appreciate that sharpness from the cheddar. It gives it a nice, really impactful oomph of flavor. Yeah, it sets it apart a little bit, you know, because, like, when it comes to, like, you know, again, going off the two that I just mentioned, KFC's mac and cheese, although I will get it from time to time, I've never been that impressed with it. You know, it's serviceable at best. In fact, I even tried to, I mean, I didn't really try, but I mentioned in one of my reviews a while back, I was like, let's hashtag, you know, let's hashtag improve the mac and cheese or some shit like that for KFC. Because, like, I'd like to see them come out with some better mac and cheese, honestly. Going off of, like, Popeyes, you know, they did improve their mac and cheese. They went to the home style mac and cheese. And their mac and cheese, in my opinion, is definitely superior to KFC's. This has its own vibe. You know, it's nice, it's rich, but the thing that really sets it apart is that really nice sharpness from that cheddar. Like, it gives it almost a tanginess to it, and I really like that. You know, like, there's a lot to be said for just a classic style, you know, creamy, you know, standard mac and cheese. This, you know, gives a little something extra. I'm not saying it's better inherently, but I do appreciate that it gives a little bit more personality. And yeah, it's nice. Like, I could see why this is something that Arby's occasionally hangs their hat on. And I can also kind of understand why it's probably something that's best served as an occasional item instead of being like a regular menu item. I think it could be on there, but I think part of the fun of this, because again, it has that distinct sharpness to it, is that it does set itself apart from other more standard macaroni and cheeses. If this were on the menu all the time, might lose a little bit of that that specialness, you know, become kind of like with the McRib or the Shamrock Shake from McDonald's, right? You know, if those were on the menu all the time, they'd just become another menu item. By going over there and sort of rationing it off, I feel like that's kind of the case here. Like, I think it works better in that capacity. Even though this is definitely something that I could eat pretty much whenever and be happy. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I have to go with yes and yes. You know, Arby's gets dunked on a lot. Of course, famously, The Simpsons went over there, and man, oh man, I'm surprised that Arby's didn't go over there and, like, throw a defamation lawsuit against them or something, because that had to have hurt their business. Had to have hurt their business when they made the joke. And the thing is that, you know, like, I like Arby's. Not everything they put out is a winner, but typically their stuff is pretty good, and some of their items I would say are really good, and I would actually say that this is one of them. It's not the best mac and cheese I've ever had or anything, but, like, in terms of, you know, again, fast food options and stuff like that, at the very least, I'd put it head to head with the home style from Popeyes. Maybe if I act quickly enough, I can do a comparison video between the two. I'm not promising that, though, especially with the fucking heat being the way it is. I really don't want to drive around any more than I have to. But yeah, I would get that again. If I'm recommending it, though, I think absolutely. I think, again, the only thing I could say is that, you know, it might not be for everyone, because, again, that sharpness, that tanginess, if you're a, you know, dedicated, traditional style mac and cheese fan, that might be a little bit off-putting for you. I could definitely see it being something that could throw some people. But fundamentally, it's just mac and cheese. You know, it's a little bit more rich, a little bit more zippy. And it's good. It's tasty. You know, yeah, you could probably go over there and make better mac and cheese yourself with relatively little ease. But this is an option. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and have yourselves a truly mac and cheese-tastic rest of your life. Because, folks, mac and cheese is just wonderful. It's just it's beautiful. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal favorite style of mac and cheese? I mean, for me personally, classic is always classic. There's just something to be said for that. But I like a little bit more exotic style mac and cheeses. There's a place, and I've reviewed, some of their burgers over the years on this channel. A place called Kuma's Corner, and one of the things that they're famous for, besides their burgers, are their signature mac and cheeses. And it's one of those things where it's like, for years, I've wanted to go over there and try some of them. But whenever I go there, I get a burger, because, their burgers are really, really good. The only time I ever had their mac and cheese, true story, I was out at the Chicago location. I was going to go out to a show a little bit later, but I decided to stop in there and, get myself a burger. And there was a guy sitting next to me with his lady friend, and he'd gone over there and gotten one of the signature mac and cheeses. And he only got maybe halfway through it, and he kind of noticed I was, eyeballing it a little bit. And I wasn't trying to eyeball it. I was just looking at it longing for, for that experience. And the guy went over there and he's like, "You want the rest of it?" And I was like, usually probably wouldn't do that with strangers' food, but it was like, yeah, I'm willing to do it this time. Anyway, bye.